All right, welcome to the Midweek Meltdown. It's Matt Hayday here again for another 2 hours of goodness. And I'm joined this week by none other than Maz and Tom Soron and Maz.
Don't reveal my full name like you did last time when you came round to my house, because I'm going to jump over this
I can't reveal Maz's secret identity.
Because I will jump over this desk and stab you in the face using...
Even though she was a former DJ at Total Rock and
yeah,
used
but
to go
last
by the name
time
Maz,
when you come to my house... When you come to my house to do a show last time, you decided to reveal my true identity. Thank you, my good friend Tom Soron, for passing me this massive kitchen knife which I'm about to...
Actually, I'm going to take that away. That's a bad idea.
Yeah, you basically encourage stalkers, and I don't need any more of those in my life right now, so...
Okay.
I pray for one day to have a stalker.
Gosh, one day?
I don't think I had one crazy person sending me crazy messages once, but she turned out to be not quite so mad.
Who?
I can't actually talk.
It was me.
It was years ago when I was a young'un. I'll talk about that off air because she won't appreciate me talking about it.
Is it someone we know?
Ooh.
No, probably not, but she won't appreciate me talking about it on air because she's probably very embarrassed about it as well.
Well, she should be, so you need to...
Don't stalk people and you got no problem.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, it turned out all right in the end.
Did it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was all good.
Are you sure?
And we're both well-rounded. Well, she don't know about me.
At least 50% of the people involved.
Fat?
No, I mean she's a responsible. Turned out to be all right.
I think you want to move on, don't you?
Not entirely mental. I meant a well-adjusted
right
member of society.
Okay.
After prison.
Can I just say that I totally loved that track you opened with?
Yes.
And I was dancing. And because we've got headphones on and everything, if we were to take them off, you wouldn't be able to hear the music. But my good friend Tom Soron, who is sitting to the right of me, is filming this for some reason. And it's going to look like...
We're just doing it
like silent disco.
Silent disco.
Because I was properly...
Going for it. Throwing down.
Because I haven't heard that since whenever that came out.
I'm going to make a confession. I don't know what that was.
Fuck off. Get out of your own house.
It was Hot Action Cop with the song Fever for the Flavour.
I
to be honest,
enjoyed it.
I hadn't thought of that song for a very long time.
Amazing.
Until last week I was listening to the That's Not Metal podcast. And Stephen Hill brought it up. He just mentioned it, and from that point onwards, I've just I just haven't been able to get this song out of my head. It's such a fucking great tune. So I had to play it first on the show this week. We've got lots of fun stuff coming up. We've got some brand new ministry.
Is that fun?
Some Mongol Horde. I've got a brand new tune by Jonathan Davis.
Is that
new
fun?
solo one? I don't know. I haven't listened to it yet.
So
We're going to listen to it
I'm just asking.
together. We're going to experience it.
So you haven't? It could be absolute shit.
It could be Gash,
and
or it could be
We're going to roll the dice.
Flash. It's
Flash the guy.
Is that because I just said I flashed my Gash?
I think that
again?
could be a new segment on the show. Actually, Gash, Flash or Gash.
Have I ever told you about the event I used to work at with the Fuel Girls, where the crowds used to chant, "Don't hide the gash."
Whoa!
I'd be like, "Don't hide the gash! Don't hide the gash!" It was a classy event, as you could tell.
Sounds it.
They're going to work it this year, like as a kind of like we're back kind of thing, and I really want to go because it's so awful. It's amazing. Batman Scoop is playing.
We'll talk about your experiences with the Fuel Girls and how that came about later on in the show.
How long have you
Because
got?
I'm intrigued to find out more about this. But we're going to play another tune right now, Upon a Burning Body.
No.
With their cover.
I don't want it. Take it away. I reject it.
With Ice-T and Body Count.
Oh, God. Okay.
I'm not even going to announce the track. You're going to find out what it is once I start playing it.
I can't wait.
Yo, check this out!
So there you go. Upon a Burning Body with Ice-T and Body Count. Turned down for what? So let's talk about Fuel Girls and your involvement with
And their gash.
And their gash
Yeah.
is...
Plural. I don't just share one.
Explain to the listeners, like, what what have you got to do with the Fuel Girls?
As little as possible nowadays. Fuel Girls are like the mafia. You can never truly leave. And I try to leave all the time, but I keep getting sucked back in. So...
what is it that you do for them?
I try to keep them alive, mostly. So I stayed away from them. I managed to stay away from them for a couple of years. And then I got a phone call last summer basically saying, hey, so we're going on the road with Fall Out Boy. Do you want to come? I was like, fuck yeah.
As in performing with them?
Yeah, as in performing with them, headlining Reading and Leeds festivals and some other random gig in Glasgow.
And explain to listeners who are unaware, who are the Fuel Girls?
The fuelgirls.co.uk are a fantastic bunch of refined, demure young ladies who are very good at entertaining people using a variety of methods, including...
You're making them sound like hookers at the moment, you know this. Like, they're not. Just to be really clear.
Classy hookers.
Yeah.
They are not hookers.
Thanks for clarifying.
They are performers. They use fire a lot, but not like pathetic little fire sticks that a lot of these girl troops use, but like massive fire, like fire rain that can fill like arenas. They use pyro. They do like crazy shit on aerial where they sit in fire. They've currently just started a residency in Las Vegas. So if you're going out there or you live there or just fancy a holiday, let's go to Vegas.
Let's go to Vegas.
They are at Inferno at the Paris Hotel for the next few months at least. So you should totally... With some guy, he's some magician guy. I don't really understand what's going on. It's like a magic show, but like there's loads of fire and pyro and shit going on. Cool. And they look really hot.
I actually used to go to school with one of the... Anne French.
One of the old ones.
Yeah, the old ones. She isn't that old. She's the same age as me. Well, I'm quite old.
But, the ones.
Yeah, one of the original
yes,
few.
One of the original ones, yeah.
She was lovely. Really nice girl. Very quiet.
And hot.
She was a funny looking girl in school. Like, she was, She, like, I wouldn't have, like, gone, she's a really hot girl.
Oh, I'm telling you, you said that.
No, I'm sure she would like. I've read some interviews with her as well, and she said like, I was really quiet in school, kind of kept myself to myself a little bit, and yeah, I would have never have said that she was going to be this like big extrovert, kind of fire breathing, crazy. Yeah, very unlike them.
So, how old are you now, Tom?
I'm 33.
Yeah.
Are you just deflecting away from the reason you just turned
40?
No,
I was just thinking, like, no, when you're at school, you're not the same person.
No, this is when I was like 15, 16. Like, I actually was younger than that.
Yeah. Nobody is, are they? It's funny, like.
I was nice.
when you're in your like teens, or even worse, in your 20s, you think you got everything figured out. You're like, oh, this is it now. Like, this is. I've got
life.
I know life now. I know how to do it.
Well, I genuinely...
You haven't got a fucking clue, have you?
I used to say, I'm going to be dead before I'm 30. That was kind of my mission. I was going to be really rock and roll. And then as 30 start to sneak up, I'm going, oh, there's stuff I still want to do. Oh man, I'm regretting this crazy... I'm making myself sound really bad now.
I'm like finding now, I turned 40 last week. And I'm finding...
Yeah, where's the cake? Have you got anything to celebrate?
And I'm finding now that like I'm doing stuff like last year went to Italy and like saw some amazing cathedrals and stuff like that. And I think to myself, if I weren't fucking around so much in my 20s...
Happy birthday to
what
you.
What is this?
Stocking.
Oh! What are you showing me on your laptop? Is this your birthday?
It was a nice surprise
for
for you. I went to see Jim Jeffries the other day and he did a whole bit about it's his Netflix special recording. There's a whole bit about docking and they said like anyone in the audience know what docking is? About 5 of us put our hands up.
You just showed me a whole bunch of pictures.
Yeah, literally it was like you, me, Hayley, hands in the air.
This appears to be men attaching their penises to other men's penises using their foreskin.
Correct. No, only one of them has a foreskin.
That's
very important.
It's very important.
To cause a vacuum, you see.
Yeah.
It's like a
and then it just bump ends.
Like a Velcro effect. You have to have one side and then you have to stick together.
It's quite terrifying mental images of penises there. Jesus. Anyway, happy birthday.
There's something I've heard of called space docking. which
Very different.
is very different. You probably
Where is this going?
don't want to Google that either. But how did we get here?
To talk about nice things, and
That's where you went wrong.
Whoa, how did that go wrong?
I mean-
I was just talking about like being like grown up and doing like sensible things.
It's a natural progression to docking. I see no issue with this.
This always happens when you're around, Soren.
I'm not gonna lie.
Dear.
It does. I don't like to disappoint. You see.
I better play another tune now. I'm going to play Mongol Horde next, who you saw recently, didn't you?
Yes, on Sunday night.
Supported by the Good Tiger. Very good band as well.
Good time. What are they like?
I really enjoyed it. It's the first time I've seen them live. I'm a big fan of the drummer, Alex Woodinger. I Facebook stalk him. And, not Facebook stalk, Instagram stalk. He used to play for the Faceless.
Yes.
And he's an incredible drummer. And, we actually, I was sort of waiting around by the merch thing, hoping that he would kind of come out and have a chat with him. And he didn't. But as we were leaving, he was bending over, getting into the van. I was like, I could totally take him right now. There's nothing, he couldn't stop me. He's only small. I stopped myself, though.
Yeah. There has to be a right time.
Yeah.
There was
When is the right time?
Usually involves permission, but
Consent is a sexy word.
So how was Mongol
Horde. Totally making a cover band that are called Hungry Horde.
I liked it when he did Million Dead.
Yeah.
They.
It's basically him reliving Million Dead, isn't he? Like
Being very angry.
Being angry and hopping about with just a microphone.
Yeah. Well, he actually, on the first song, as it kicked in, dived in at the audience, crowd surfing, and then surfed back, and then the security didn't realise, and he fell and landed on his head.
Yeah.
Which I've put on YouTube for all to see.
I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah.
No one else thought it was hilarious.
No.
I did see that footage. I love it when he like scrambles back up onto stage, carries on singing, but he's like, he gives the security guard the finger in such a
Angry, aggressive way.
it's almost like a petulant child moment. Like, oh, sorry, you.
Bless him.
Can I just say, Tom Soron, your sister Rachel doesn't know what docking is.
Oh, God.
dear.
I don't know if that's a
what you've
conversation
done now.
I'm gonna save that for Christmas Day. I had one Christmas, I swear to God, my grandma asked me at the Christmas table what felching was.
A whole new world for some listeners right now.
Yeah.
We just
Google these things, people. I've got some straws.
Is Mongol Horde with stillborn unicorn.
Some people have all the luck. Some people have it all.
Hatebreed, Live for This. They headlined the last night of, they headlined the entire Persistence tour, but on Sunday night they played the last show of the tour at the O2 Forum in London, and I went along and it was Ace and Madball played and Terror and a bunch of other bands that I didn't see because I didn't get there till late because I had to drop my daughter off that day.
There were bands on from like 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah, sorry, but there was like 7 or 8 bands.
No, I don't want to see 7 or 8 bands. I'm old.
I got there in time to see Terror, Madball, and Hatebreed, which were the 3 that I was most interested in. However, Power Trip also played as well, and a lot of people have been making a lot of fuss about them.
Yeah.
And I would have liked to have seen them, but I didn't manage to make it there in time. They're a thrash band in a sort of vein of Municipal Waste, that sort of old school thrash business. Terror are great. Terror. They're the same band that they have been for the last like 10, 15 years.
Consistent.
All their songs sound the same. A lot of moshing and hollering and crowd surfing. It was good fun. Madball were same old reliable. Well, I want to say same old reliable Madball. I think that Freddie has actually got more energy than he ever has done, if that's such a possible thing. I think it's because he's got more hair now and it gives him power. He's like Samson. He's got flowing locks of hair now, which is funny because he's got quite big ears and his ears stick out through his hair on either side of his head. But yeah, they were absolutely brilliant, tight as fuck. And then there was Hatebreed, who everyone went nuts for, and I came out of mosh retirement. Mosh pit retirement and got stuck in. No, but I had a hell of a lot of fun. Good. And I tell you, at 40 years old, I felt like I did like the first time I ever jumped in a mosh pit. It was brilliant. I
think the last time I went in a pit was Snot.
Yeah,
that was not originally because I was probably a fetus, but when they reformed and did that tour, I went to the garage, and it was awesome because I really like those old school pits where people really genuinely look out for each other and they're just having a good time and not trying to like flying spin kick you in the face with fucking dicks.
Yeah, and that's what it was like for Haybury.
Oh, really?
Everyone was just having a blast.
Oh, cool.
It was a really good time, and there was a real good mix of fans. There was like older guys like me and like a lot of new ones, new fans and stuff like that. They played a brand new tune. When I say a brand new tune, it's been out for about a year now, from their most recent album, and people went nuts for that tune as well. Like, you know, as much as they did for like the classics, it was great. Cool. It was a really good time, and Jamie Jasta was just grinning from ear to ear the whole show.
Because how long have they been going now? They've
20 years.
Yeah.
Google.
Like, I mean, they emerged from like the like Ozfest days, like the original American Ozfest days, like in the late 90s.
Yeah.
Was the 90s 20 years ago? I don't even know anymore.
Yeah.
I get confused. I think 2000.
And he used to
a couple of years ago
host the Headbangers Ball back then as well, didn't he? On MTV too.
When they used to play music.
Yeah, back in the days where MTV was a music channel.
Formed in Connecticut in 1994.
Whoa, there.
Was there loads of old people at the show, or was there any young people?
There was a good mix. There was a good mix. Honestly, there was people of all ages there. It was great because I've been going to shows like recently, and it's mostly older people. Young people hadn't been going out, and I was getting a bit worried that.
Have you been going to see ZZ Top a lot?
Yeah, where are you going?
No, I went to see the Bronx, and it was all old people.
At Black Heart.
Yeah, the Black Heart. It was all old people, like in their 30s, upwards.
Yeah. What are kids these days listening to? I have no idea.
And I'm like, this is fucking brilliant. Like, where are the young people? Like, I was worrying that like young people aren't going to gigs and it'll all die out.
Probably sat at home watching YouTube masturbating. That'd be my guess.
Yeah, that's what you'd be. That's what you'd be doing these days.
That is correct. I'm staying young. What can I say?
Yeah, how do kids get anything done these days? The amount of free porn that's out there. I mean, if I honestly, if the stuff that is around now was around when I was a teenager, I would get nothing done. I would wank myself into oblivion. I really would.
Could have done that anyway.
No, but like, there's like an endless like amount of material.
Yeah.
In my day, if you wanted to see a pair of boobs, you'd have to either like wait until like you find an old magazine in the woods
with the pages stuck together.
Yeah, honestly, it was a thing. Like porno mags were just like, I don't know who put them there, or if it was some sort of unwritten rule, like when you finished with it, you must pass it on. I don't know. But like you'd be like hanging out in the woods with your mates and just randomly come across a porno mag.
Yeah.
Did you go to the woods on purpose to try and
to look for the hunter?
You go down in the woods today, you'll probably find a mag.
Yeah.
No, that you just
liar.
I didn't. I didn't.
You had them on a fishing line to trap young boys.
Oh my goodness.
What are you trying to say about me?
Nothing, Maz.
But now kids just have it in the palm of their hand. An endless amount of tits and some of the most in stuff like you and your docking
Thing is,
business.
on a serious note,
over
though,
there.
it's actually become a real problem that like
docking?
kids watching like porn because they think that's what
That's
a
what's
healthy
expected.
sexual relationship looks like.
Yeah.
If you're not coming on a girl's
Right.
face, then it's not love.
Oh dear.
Don't look at me.
The internet. It's going to cause
Some
the
people...
end of the world. Like civilization is crumbling
Yeah.
as we speak.
Just be like normal people and swallow.
This
Stop looking at me. Jesus.
every conversation seems to like go south. Oh, what's going on?
You know
Michelle?
what happens if you put us two together.
I instigated that one.
It's just going to descend into filth, really. So it's
You
your
get what you
fault.
pay for.
Your fault.
Let's play another tune, shall
Wait, what you got lined
we?
up?
This is the one that you
Oh, the
you just sent me and asked me to play. I've never heard this one before. Ironed Out.
Yes. So I guess that I'm being a dutiful girlfriend by making you play this, because I may be involved
Dun, dun, dun!
with someone in the band.
All of them.
You got ironed out.
Just
I bought an iron the other day.
do you know what? I think he's listening right now. So I'm not going to end
Sorry,
up.
buddy. Sorry.
Are you sorry? You're not sorry.
I'm not sorry, really.
Right,
You're not sorry either. So-
I'm not. I'm keen to hear this band.
Okay, so they're a London hardcore band.
Ace.
Featuring members of Knuckle Dust and look at your little face now. Now you're interested.
I like Knuckle Dust.
Well maybe you can come to the show then.
I will.
All right.
I've never been there.
Yeah.
I might come as well.
And 50 Caliber and some other bands, I'm sure. I've seen them support Dog Eat Dog.
Hey.
Yeah. And they haven't announced it yet, but I'm going to tell you anyway. They're going to be playing in London in March, so I'll probably get in trouble for that.
That's
But,
good.
you know,
Okay.
I'm
heads
gonna
up.
look.
It's
I'm
not
gonna
like
look 'em
anyone's
up
listening.
while I'm playing
so
this
it's
tune. I'm
fine.
going to look them up on Instagram.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're on there, and I'll keep an eye on that. And then when the date is announced, I shall let my listeners know
Okay.
as well.
And see you
And
there.
if I can get some more tunes, I'd like to hear some more after this one as well.
Okay. But yeah,
Okey-dokey.
well, see if you
'Cause
like
I'm-
it first. If you hate it, you don't want
I'm sure I'll like it. If
Be
I
like
don't,
that
if I
Jonathan
don't like
Davis
this
track.
song, I'm sure I'll have other ones that I do like. This one's called In These Ends. This is Ironed Out. Code Orange with Bleeding in the Blur right there. Code Orange were nominated for a Grammy this year for
care.
Best Metal Performance, but they didn't win,
That's a shame.
unfortunately.
Because it was them that were supporting Gojira when... Was it Gojira?
Yeah, they're like such a hype band. Code Orange, that is, by the way, not Gojira, who are fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
And I was a little bit bored by them. Just overhyped.
that performance,
Yeah.
yeah.
There was that other band. Was it Ghost? No, not Ghost. Oh, I don't like them. Horror. Sorry.
That was
horror play as well.
Horror, no, that was a Dillinger Escape Plan.
Oh, that's what Dylan's
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
And they are fantastic.
Yeah.
HU9909.
Yeah, they are brilliant. They played at Glastonbury last year as well.
Really?
Yeah,
That's an interesting booking.
yeah.
Did they play on the tube? Or
They did. They played on the tube train.
Yeah.
Last year at Glastonbury, they had. I think it was like set up by Earache, so
Yes.
it was like a few Earache bands, but they got other bands to play as well, like heavier bands that you wouldn't normally see at Glastonbury these days, and it went down a storm. Napalm Death played as well.
I was going to say Napalm Death Play, or did I make that up in my head? Like
There,
I'm making
there
a
was
lot of
like
things up.
there was like in this area there was two stages. There was a bigger one outdoors, and then there was like a tube train where they had like punk bands and thrash bands and like horror playing in there, causing chaos. Apparently like so many people were trying to get into this tube car that like there were just huge crowds outside who couldn't even get in. They were just wanting to see what the hell was going on in there. Sounds ace. But no Glastonbury this year. They're having one of their years off this year.
Give the grass time to grow here.
But yeah, like the fact that like the heavier bands went down a storm because they haven't played a lot. They haven't had a lot of heavy bands for a while. It's hopefully gonna
to be fair,
draw in more.
So many people there are probably so off their tits. They've got no idea what they're watching.
Yeah.
They're going, oh.
Well, they're bringing metal to Boomtown Festival this year.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
That will be interesting because Boomtown is such a. I'm about to probably get in trouble yet again. That's right, Tony. You can't suspend me this time. Get me in trouble. Boomtown is notoriously full of like people who take loads of ket and are just off their face and take loads of drugs and stuff. And it isn't really a metal type of thing. So they're introducing metal this year.
No,
so that'd be interesting.
Yeah.
Gorillaz are playing.
Skindred played there last year and went down a storm.
Yeah.
But they're the sort of band that cross over.
Yeah.
I've never seen them live.
Never seen
I know. Me and Kelly were talking about. We need to go.
Oh, mate, they're brilliant, and Benji is one of the best frontmen ever. I mean, he's got a great voice, but he's just like the way that he talks to the crowd. He's funny as fuck, and he'll have everyone like eating out the palm of his hand by the end of the show.
I've met him.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, I met him before. He's a nice guy, but yeah, never seen him.
He's we went along to Bloodstock last year and took my daughter Harley.
And is that we took Michael J. Fox as well, your dog?
The year before we took MJ. Right. this year we took Harley, and it was.
I have to say, I am gutted that we're not having tonight at your place because I was so excited to meet your dog.
Oh, you will eventually. Yeah. You will eventually.
When, Matt? When? me and Kelly need to come and visit Michael J. Fox.
You can come soon.
He's literally the cutest dog in the entire world. I require to pet him.
When can we meet him?
He's pretty. Yes.
I'm not interested in humans, only dogs.
Yeah.
Well, I'm thinking of.
I tolerate you two
because I didn't get to have a birthday party like with my friends, so I might have like a belated birthday party.
I'm just say burlesque.
We're just trying to figure out a date because over the next couple of weeks we've got some friends coming to stay, but I do want to have a party and have all my mates
That'd be nice.
come along.
And then we'll just fuck off with the dog.
You can all meet the dog. It'll be a meeting the dog party. Never mind my birthday.
Yeah, you turned 40, no one cares. Like, we'll bring a bottle of Jaeger. We'll leave you with the Jaeger.
We'll all dance around the dog. We went to Bloodstock Festival. Took my daughter, and she'd been listening to Skindred and getting into Skindred, so she really wanted to see them.
Because how old is she now?
She's 7 now.
Awesome.
She was 6 then, but she's 7 now, and she has autism. We weren't quite sure how she would take to like seeing bands live and stuff, but she wears ear protectors and she actually like really digs it, enjoys it. We took her to see Parkway Drive last year, and then we went to Bloodstock, and she had the time of her life at Bloodstock. And Bloodstock is a brilliant festival. I'm going to go on about it all the time on the show, but the atmosphere there is just like a really happy, jolly atmosphere. Everyone is just like got a smile on their face. It's a good time. Everyone's like just like in this, it is a really good vibe there.
There's a lot of people drinking out of horns.
That happens as well, but it's all in good fun and not. You just don't get dickheads.
Yeah,
there. That's the difference between that and any other festival.
Serious music. Seriously, people into the music.
They get posers. It's just people just there to have a fucking good time.
Good time for all.
And she got her face painted up with corpse paint. And we were in the backstage area, and they had some drum kits set up, electronic drum kits for people to practice on backstage.
Oh, wicked.
So she jumped on one of those as soon as she saw it, and like was just banging away on this drum kit. And like there was like the drummer from Megadeth just sort of like walking along behind her going, sort of like looking in to see what she was doing. He's like nodding his head.
Wicked. She got a talent for drums. You think she'll?
Yeah. She picked it up really well. She never played on a drum kit before, to my knowledge, but she picked it up really well and was doing little paradiddles and stuff.
Get her a kit, man. Get a little practice kit.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah. She loved it, and she after we saw Skindred, she was dancing around like crazy. It was brilliant, like doing a moonwalk and all these different dances. Like, and then and afterwards we went round the back to have some food in the catering tent round there, and Benji came bouncing through the catering tent, and and Harley said, "Hi, Benji." And he goes, "Oh, hi, Harley." I guess I saw you dancing at the back there. You were doing great, little girl. She was like, "Thank you."
What a legend.
That was a good time. Yeah, Benji's ace. Skindred got a brand new album coming out in April or so, I believe. I played one of the new tracks. In fact, I might play it again right now. In fact, if I can find it, I'll play it after this one. I'm going to play Mastodon because they won the Grammy for this song.
The Granny.
For best.
The one-up Granny.
I honestly can't speak properly anymore.
I'm worried about you driving, like genuinely.
I mean, I can,
one beer and you're anyone's.
I can threaten to stab you in the face again if that might help.
What, to help me speak properly?
Yeah, because it will scare you.
That might help. But this is Sultan's Curse by Mastodon, who I must congratulate for winning a Grammy this weekend. Skindred there with Machine, a brand new track from their forthcoming album, which I believe is coming out in April sometime. What do you think of that?
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah? Good.
Oh, you're so negative. Go on.
You hate everything. Just hate everything, don't you?
I don't hate everything. I just hate things that are shit and disappointing. And I think that's fair enough.
I enjoyed it.
I'm a fan of Skindred, and I've had several conversations with Benji over the years. I used to love Dub War, but that felt like a little bit... It was a little bit poppy for me.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, maybe that's...
A little bit jolly. I don't like happiness. Come on, you know this.
just cut yourself while you listen to it.
I want to be shrouded in misery.
Well, I'm sure it'll be a lot of fun to
bop around to.
Bop around to.
I don't like bopping. Don't like fun.
Talking of live shows, what is your opinion on people using their phones at shows?
As a general rule, if they're in front of me, I want to punch them in the back of the head. Otherwise, it doesn't really bother me.
Yeah.
But you're on your phone all the time.
I'm not at a gig.
Sunday night when we went to see...
That is true, actually. But that's because where we were stood, and I was completely like geeking out over the fact that I had such a good view. That was more,
the drummers,
and I wasn't obscuring anybody's view where I was stood. I was like parallel to the stage. You know, I was also mocking my mate Ivan that was on the other side of the stage, trying to get a video of him spazzing out over it because he's friends with Frank and was just completely bumming him throughout the entire thing. So I just kind of wanted to get a video of that more than anything.
Yeah, I went to see Chris Rock on Saturday, and
Oh dear.
all right, and they locked our phones away in a little pouch when we entered the venue.
Right. Okay.
So that no one could use their phones, and I had massive separation anxiety because I'm slightly addicted to my phone.
Everyone is. I'm totally behind that. I think that's a brilliant idea.
Get you to focus on the...
Oh yeah, because at that Hatebreed show the other night, I was like down front for it, and like normally I would stand a bit closer to the back, and then the phone would come out to snap the odd picture here and there. Wait for the the chorus in the song that everyone wants.
Your Insta story,
snap that, but I kept my phone away and just got stuck in like the whole show. I didn't get my phone out, and I had the best time for a long time at a show, like just totally like immerse myself in the show, and I like if they could do that for every show where everyone has to put their phone away, I think it'd be a whole lot better for everyone. And at the end of the day, like people want to take their photo and so that they can show off to their friends on social media, but like, you know, they're always shitty pictures.
You
And,
put
like,
loads of
just
shitty
be there.
pictures up then.
Well, this is it. I mean, I'm totally guilty of it, and I just don't want to do it anymore. Like, because there was one point, one show, like my phone ran out of memory, and I was frantically like deleting pictures and videos off my phone while
Deleting dick pics.
while everything's going on, you know. And I thought to myself, what the fuck am I doing? Just to try to take one crappy photo. I'm standing here staring at my phone.
The thing is, it's not just gigs, it's everything these days. It's like, not to sound like an old man, but because I'm as guilty of it as you. And, you know, it's about just being present. That's why the cinema, I think we talked about it last time, being at the cinema is so great, because you're in a dark room, you're focused on the movie, you're listening, you're completely focused on what's going on, and you're taking it all in. Yeah. If you've got your phone, you're distracted, you constantly, you know, you're not really listening properly. And it's same with like... we talked about Henry Rollins before. You know, he likes to just sit there and listen. Just put on the music and listen to it properly.
That's it.
And
when's the last time he's doing something else?
I'm trying to think the last time that I've actually sat down and just gone, I'm just going to listen to this album. I don't think ever. I'll be watching something or doing something, and you're missing out on it. Yeah. Missing out on life. Missing out on life.
Exactly.
Soren, I have a question.
Uh-oh.
Since we've been sat here, you've been filming us.
Yeah.
What are you doing with this?
Oh, it goes on YouTube.
So
it's for his own.
It's just going to be
his own
personal collection.
He's got a whole library. He's got VHS tapes going back to
actually
about
have
30 years.
I've got Metallica Cunning Stunts through there on VHS. I haven't got a VHS player anymore.
No, well, these things are collectible now. You know, there are people that collect VHS tapes, like, and to put up on their shelves.
Sad fucking people in the world.
Trophies. They don't play.
This is my Betamax.
Yeah.
I love it.
Cassette tapes as well.
Yep.
Mini disc.
They seek them out.
Don't say anything bad about mini discs.
Oh, no,
mini discs were great.
They were great, but they've
mini
died
discs
out.
were the future. But like, I'm sure that they weren't like environmentally friendly to produce, because they're like lots of parts to them, didn't they? And
they're like big floppy discs.
Plastic.
There's a big flat plastic floppy discs.
Yeah, but they were great.
The sound
was
was incredible.
Because not to get too geeky,
and they were smaller than CDs, and they didn't get scratched.
No, and it was
But
so
sure
good. It was
I'm sure they
handy.
were
Back in
expensive
our
to produce.
old Total Rock days, we used to interview on mini disc as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it was easy to edit, and everything was just better.
Oh yeah.
But don't you think it's crazy that there are kids that are born now that will have never ever bought a CD?
Yeah. Yeah, it's true.
Stupid
Or
children.
know what mini disc is, or a zip disc, or a floppy disc, or what other discs are there? Asparagus disc.
I think it was Jamie Jester. He was at his merch table at one of his shows. He's talking about this on his podcast. He was at a merch table after one of his shows, and some kid came up and there was CDs on there, and literally picked up one of the CDs and was like, "What's this?" And
what?
You serious? He's like, well,
I mean, that's weird, because if you go to HMV
what is
or
it?
whatever,
Is it some sort of art thing? It's got your picture on of the album. Is it like? And he's like, it's got CD in it, and he's like, yeah.
Compact disc.
And it's got music on it. It just totally blew this guy's mind. But music exists not on the internet.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I'm quite glad there's a bit of a resurgence around LPs, because at least that's kind of the physical media. Because I do like having the CD and the inlay and all that sort of cool stuff.
I've gotten into vinyl because we got some at home, and we get a bunch of it free through every time one of M's bands release something, and we will put on vinyl at home, and we're listening to music at home. We'll put a vinyl on, and Harley likes to go and pick it out and
it's
watch us
just
put
the
it
whole
on.
sort of what do you call it,
ritual.
It's great.
She likes her favourite things to listen to on vinyl at the moment are Prince.
Nice.
Awesome.
And Michael Jackson.
Yes.
And the Beastie Boys.
You've raised her right.
Your kid has good taste.
Proud parent. And also, this is something else that we like to listen to at home, so I'm going to play it right now. This is Bad Rabbits with Get Up and Go. You like this?
Bell bottoms, bell bottoms.
John Spencer, Blues Explosion, Bell Bottoms, which you correctly identified as being the song at the start of Baby Driver, which is it was my favourite film last year. Of all the movies that I saw last year, it was by far my favourite.
It was awesome.
And I thought it was ace. A lot of people aren't sort of talking about it now, like with all the awards ceremonies that are going on at the moment. It's totally been sort of like put to the back burner because
I think it was just because it was a good film. Solid film.
It was a good film, but like this whole Kevin Spacey thing has kind of like put it a bad taste in everyone's mouth.
So sad about that.
I don't know exactly what it was about. I mean, the accusations that have come to light publicly have been that when he was younger, he
grabbed people's willies willy-nilly.
Yeah, he kind of pestered like young men. But
the thing that annoyed me the most was the fact that he convoluted the fact that he sexually assaulted people with the fact that he was a gay man and used that as an opportunity to officially come out. And I thought that was wrong because it just that further adds to the horrible stereotype that like gay men are fucking kiddie fiddlers. It's just that really upset me, and I thought it was really irresponsible of him.
I think the sort of reaction that he's gotten, that there's more on him that hasn't come to light. Something.
It's rife though. It's not just him. I mean, this is the thing. It's great that all this stuff is coming out, but it's awful that it's been going on for so long. So many people have been implicit with it and let it happen. Yeah. And been too afraid to come forward or. It's terrible.
Yeah, it kind of sucks. And Lena Headey, the woman who plays the Queen in Game of Thrones.
Right.
What's her name? Cersei. She was on. I. If you listen to my show, you'll know that I just reference endless podcasts that I've listened to. But this was on Scroobius Pip's podcast, and she was talking about like. Coming forward and like for years like she didn't want to speak about it because she didn't know that everybody else was a lot of other people that she knew were affected by it as well, and she just sort of like she didn't want to be the one, but soon as like someone was brave enough to come forward, then it just opened the floodgates for everyone, like made everybody realise just how widespread it was.
Yeah, it's awful.
Yeah, it sucks. But, there's, it
was, Kelly, my girlfriend, said it really interesting to me. She said you need to separate, because I was saying I find it really difficult, because now when I watch Kevin Spacey in a movie, it kind of...
To separate the art from the artist, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Same with like Michael Jackson's music. He was an incredibly messed up individual who'd had a lot of, God knows what happened there. But I love his music, and you just have to kind of.
Yeah, I think the thing.
It's getting very serious, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Can we talk about docking again? That's much fun.
The thing with Michael Jackson is that I feel like he was just someone that people didn't say no to. He just got everything that he wanted. He was like a spoilt child, and he kind of lived his childhood like forever. Yeah. He was able to live like a child.
Well, I think he was never allowed to grow up, or he didn't develop the social skills because he wasn't treated. He was treated as a celebrity from exactly such a young age.
That's right. And it's funny. Today I was listening to another podcast with Macaulay Culkin, and he doesn't talk about Michael Jackson at all, but like he used to hang out with Michael Jackson, and he has in the past said that they just hung out like a couple of kids, like as if Michael was the same age as him, and they'd find the same things funny, and they'd muck about, just like he actually had the mentality of a child. Like,
and I think he was. I hope. I mean, that he was kind of innocent in it all. That it was just because he thought. For example, I remember there's all a documentary about how a kid would stay over and he would sleep in the same bed, because in his head he was like, that's not an issue. It's not a sexual thing. It's just the fact is that we're hanging out and we're having a sleepover. Yeah. And that's the way they view it. He wouldn't go, oh, maybe that's not a good idea. Maybe I shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
It was so sad, all that sort of stuff, really, with him. Very messed up individual.
Yeah, and the way he died in the end as well. It was all down to, like, you know, they obviously the procedure that he was doing to make himself go to sleep every night, in most doctors' eyes, is not a reasonable thing to do. And I can imagine a lot of doctors he asked to do that were like, no, and he just kept asking until someone said yes.
Yep.
You know,
or the money was right,
the
or
right
whatever.
amount of money.
Yeah,
You
money
know?
corrupts. Yeah.
Ugh, what a thing, eh? We're almost coming to the end of the show, so we're going to squeeze in a few more songs. We'll chat about some more movies and stuff after this. But I'm going to play Dr. Dre right now.
Yes.
Nothing but a G thing,
Baby.
Dr. Dre. Let's talk about movies. So
Death Row is the label there.
Oscar nominations came out a couple of weeks ago, and there's a whole bunch of good stuff right there. Get Out is the one that I wanted to see in there, and it is all over the nominations, which is Ace for. I think it was probably the most original movie, other than maybe Baby Driver, that came out last year. But like, as soon as I saw that movie, I was like, oh.
It was great.
I think this thing can win Oscars, but I thought it came out so early on in the year. By the time the Oscar nominations come around, they might have forgotten about it, but they haven't. And it's Ace. It's directed by Jordan Peele, which was one half of Key and Peele. Yeah.
All right, I didn't realise that.
Yeah, it's written and directed by him.
Wow.
So
I'm impressed. No orange soda references throughout.
No.
I mean, that's good.
And it's his first movie. So like, if that's the beginning of something for him, I can only wait and with bated breath to see what he brings out next, and he's only going to get better and better, I hope, as well. Who knows?
I was just having a quick look at like the other kind of nominations and stuff, and it's a good shout to win quite a lot of stuff, to be fair.
That's right. Yeah. Well, I the thing is, like, because we Em and I got the Cineworld Unlimited passes, we've been like working our way through these movies, and we've seen some fucking great ones. 3 billboards outside Ebbing.
I've heard about that.
Missouri.
Yeah, I've not seen it yet.
Oh, it is a superb movie. Like, every actor involved in it puts in just the performance of their career. You know, Woody Harrelson's in there, Sam Rockwell.
Awesome.
It's so good, and again, like an original movie. It's not based on something else.
Have you seen Murder on the Orient Express yet?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, that's on my to watch list, but because I mean the casting, that is ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's like every celebrity you can possibly think of.
I haven't seen it. I hadn't heard great things about it.
No.
It seems to, from what I understand, it's a bit cheesy.
Yeah.
But Dunkirk was also like a spectacle, like a real.
I really wanted to go see that in the cinema, but it was finished by the time I got around to it. It was a shame.
It's without spoiling anything, the tension in that movie just starts from the very beginning, just builds and builds and builds and builds. It even has like this soundtrack to it, almost like this like ticking, like
heartbeats and stuff,
non-stop like
stress.
Like it just gets more and more rowdy as it goes along. It's really, really good, and I just noticed that I've got a camera point. It's got 2 cameras pointing at me now.
I'm just pointing it at you. I haven't actually done
Oh,
it.
okay, jolly good. The Shape of Water we saw last night, which is the new Guillermo del Toro movie.
I love this stuff.
Guillermo del Toro made Pan's Labyrinth and Hellboy.
That was
And
great.
he likes to make these sort of like grotesque CGI, not CGI, like sort of monster movies, basically, and it's just brilliant. Again, like an absolute like piece of cinema that you just don't get these days. You know, the details, the music, the lighting and everything. It's just
beautiful,
fantastic.
It's like a work
really,
of art.
really takes you on a journey. It's great. And again, like, you know, I would urge people to see these in the cinema, away from your mobile phones and other distractions.
I don't know
and
what
just
you mean.
immerse yourself in these movies. I love it. I love going to the cinema, and that the unlimited cards are just like worth their weight in gold. It's worth every penny.
I was interesting.
Go and get one if you can.
I was just looking at it as well because Blade Runner is down for a few as well. Blade Runner 2049.
Yeah,
maybe around the sound and production design.
That is ace. That movie was the perfect sequel to Blade Runner, which is one of my favourite films.
And I saw that in the cinema, and I think that is one you have to see in the cinema, or if you've got a proper surround.
A lot of complaints that I heard about that movie was that it was too long. That they felt that it wasn't enough action. It's like
I think that was the
you're
point.
Into the wrong movies.
Yeah,
because it's
the pacing, it's the tension. And
exactly. It was perfectly paced for that type of movie. I loved it. I thought it was great.
I
thought it was brilliant. Again, one of the best films. There were some really good films that came out in the last parts.
And they're doing, and we were saying before, they're doing a secret cinema which comes out tomorrow. Tickets on sale from tomorrow. Which should be amazing.
Did you go to the Star Wars one?
I didn't. I'm so good. It looked amazing.
Oh, mate! It was one of the most amazing experiences of my life. Going to.
Damn it!
Now, in years previous, they've done these secret cinemas where like they've become more and more elaborate. They started off like just showing movies in strange locations. Like they showed like American Werewolf in London in an old tube station, or they played some sort of prison movie in a prison. But they did Back to the Future.
Yeah, they built the whole
and they
town,
built the whole town square with the
welcome to Thingy Valley,
with the clock tower, and then people in costumes and like actually interacting as if like they were like characters in the movie, and then when they showed the movie, like everybody sat on the lawn and it was projected onto the clock tower.
Oh wow!
And they had like actors like actually acting out parts of what's happening up on the screen.
So they did the zip wire like from the clock tower.
That's it. Yeah,
so cool.
I didn't go to this one, but I know all about it because Em went to it. She told me about it, and like when when the truck opens up and the DeLorean rolls out, the cinema screen parts and an actual DeLorean like drives out of the screen.
Oh my god!
Nuts. So there was that, and you like, and then they did Star Wars the following year or a year after. I went along to that, and it was Empire Strikes Back.
Nice.
And you knew nothing about it other than you had to turn up at a certain location in a certain outfit. And carry certain items. Like mine one was some like beans or seeds, right? And I'm like, what the fuck is this all about? So you turn up and everyone's wearing like Star Wars costumes as if they're like explorers or pilots or tradesmen and stuff like this. And then you go into this building and you get told, oh, we're taking you to join the Rebel Alliance, but we got to get you off of this planet. But so we have to go through the spaceport, keep a low profile, and we'll get you on board one of the ships. So you go in there, and there's like stormtroopers everywhere and Imperial officers, and you get checked in. They take your phone off you and put it in one of those bags.
Oh, cool.
So you can't take pictures. So like you're checking in at the spaceport,
and again, that's another example of where you're getting immersed in the experience because you're not. Because you can imagine if you went around it with your phone, you'd be like, "Oh, I want to film everything, take photos of everything." And you ruin it for everybody else as well.
Yeah, exactly. So again, you just lose yourself in it. You're just totally experiencing it. You get taken on board a spaceship, so you get seated in these seats, and then like the blast screen sort of opens up and it's a simulator as if like you're taking off and the seats will rumble around and then you're like taking off from the planet and you see like Millennium Falcon fly past with like TIE fighters chasing after it.
Amazing.
And then you shoot off into hyperspace and
apparently they arrest you or something or you get
I'm coming to that.
Oh, sorry.
I got to so
getting overexcited.
And then you stop off at this planet and they say, well, we got to drop you off here and then you're gonna have to find your way from here, okay? And you're like, oh, okay, so you get ushered out, like, what the fuck do we do? And you walk into this like market, and you're on Tatooine, okay, and you're in Mos Eisley.
Oh my god.
And like you walk around and there's all like aliens wandering about and droids and stormtroopers on patrol and Jawas wandering about and like you're figuring your way around this place and like I made a beeline for the bar for the cantina, right, and they wouldn't let me in. They were like hold on, where you going, and there's like a doorman there and I'm like I go in for a drink and like, you can't come in here if you haven't got Imperial credits. You got Imperial credits? And he's like, I'm like, no. And he's like, we can't come in. And I've got euros. And he's like, what have you got? What have you got? And I look in my pocket and I'm like, I've got some beans. And he's like,
they're magic.
He's like, beans. And he's like, go take your beans over to Aunt Beru. Maybe she'll trade you for something. So I'm like, okay, right. So I go and find Aunt Beru at her house.
I'm assuming she's not dead at this point.
And she's like, oh, you got some beans. Oh, I really need some beans. It's germination season. I'll tell you what, I'll give you these droid parts for your beans. Right? And you can have a little chat. You can interact with all of these people all the time. And then you go, take the droid parts to the Jawas.
Yeah.
And then they trade it for some spice. And you're basically going back and forth doing this trading. And then you get some Imperial credits. And then you can get in the bar. Right? And once you're in the bar, just hanging out there, the band's playing. Yeah, that's right. And then stormtroopers come in and shoot up the place, and they're like, right, everybody stay where they are. We're investigating a murder that happened over there. A Rhodian called Greedo got shot to death in that booth right there. And then you spot like Han Solo and Chewbacca like sneaking out the door at the back, and you're like, and it's then that you realise that they're actually acting out the events of the first movie around you as if you're in the movie, and like they're just doing it. And
that's amazing from like a logistics perspective.
Like, so like over the other end, like in the desert, there's Luke Skywalker meeting Obi-Wan Kenobi, and if you're not there to see it, you don't see it. Yeah,
so you must have to run around,
and it's all happening. And then we come to the end of the show. So I'm gonna continue that story.
Excellent.
When?
Next week.
Oh.
Who are you talking to next week?
You guys again. I think maybe you could come over to my house if.
Dog times.
Yes.
But I think we should continue that story. I'm going to end with Cancer Bats right now. Tune in next week. Thanks a lot for joining us. You've been listening to The Meltdown. This is Cancer Bats with Scared to Death. See ya.
Bye.